In February 2024, a single phrase uttered during a corporate earnings call erased millions in brand equity for Wendy's overnight. The CEO casually mentioned the company was investing in digital menu boards to enable dynamic pricing. Within 24 hours, the narrative locked in. Headlines across national news outlets announced that Wendy's was introducing surge pricing for hamburgers. The reaction on social media was immediate. The hashtag #BoycottWendy's trended nationwide, generating millions of viral impressions driven by consumer fear of price manipulation. Competitors instantly weaponized the story, taking to their social channels to boast about their own stable, predictable pricing models. A standard technological upgrade transforms into a massive brand liability the moment an operator uses revenue optimization terminology in public. Wendy's never actually intended to implement real-time demand-based surge pricing for their menu items. The actual implementation relied on standard dayparting. On the left, the system automatically swaps breakfast to lunch based on time. It also deploys promotional timing with happy hour discounts and lets operators update menu layouts without printing physical boards. While these are standard digital signage practices, the consumer perceived something different. Real-time, algorithmic price manipulation calibrated to exactly how busy the store is. The gap between operational intent and consumer perception proves that public technical transparency is not always a virtue. To isolate where the communication breakdown became irreversible, we have to look at the exact chronology of the crisis. Step 1 was the initial statement. The earnings call context involved standard operational flexibility, but the perceived meaning was manipulative pricing. Step 2 was media amplification. The narrative locked in within a single news cycle, rendering the technical facts of the implementation irrelevant. Step 3 was the social explosion. The reaction was disproportionate to the business plan, but perfectly proportionate to the fear the phrase triggered. Step 4 was the clarification. Wendy's issued a desperate apology, insisting they had no plans to raise prices during high demand, and that dynamic pricing only referred to promotions. The vast majority of the customer base never saw the correction, leaving the false narrative intact in the public memory. In corporate communication, a delayed clarification never outpaces a viral controversy. Proactive messaging is the only effective defense. This specific failure stems from the psychological baggage attached to the phrase dynamic pricing. Rideshare apps have permanently primed modern consumers to fear demand-based, real-time pricing algorithms. By using this exact terminology, Wendy's walked into a pre-existing psychological minefield. Investors hear dynamic pricing as a positive signal for revenue optimization. Consumers hear it as a direct threat of manipulation. Words carry historical baggage. Using investor-facing terminology in a consumer context instantly weaponizes the technology against the brand. Safely communicating operational upgrades requires a translation layer between boardroom strategy and public-facing messaging. This matrix illustrates the required linguistic shift. In the investor column, dynamic pricing is restricted to financial contexts. When migrating to the public mind, it translates into surge pricing. The operator column reveals safe alternatives instead, flexible content displays, and promotional scheduling. These safe alternatives accurately describe the technology without triggering the psychological tripwires of the rideshare era. Safely migrating a QSR to digital dayparting requires rigorous discipline in filtering every piece of public messaging through this translation matrix. The second major failure of the rollout was relying on capability-first messaging instead of benefit-first messaging. Telling a customer what a new system allows the operator to do, like change prices easily, immediately triggers consumer suspicion. Messaging must focus entirely on what the customer gets. Shifting the language from pricing flexibility to showing you deals faster transforms a corporate capability into a customer benefit. Because this shift didn't happen, the resulting internal disruption forced marketing teams to pause technology work and shift into full damage control. This led to a measurable impact on the brand's stock price and lingering skepticism regarding their pricing integrity. Explaining the mechanism of your technology creates fear, while explaining the outcome of your technology builds trust. To safely roll out digital menu boards, operators need a playbook structured to maintain customer loyalty. Rule 1 is language discipline. Operators must strike dynamic pricing and real-time changes from their internal and external vocabulary. Easy updates and flexible content are the only acceptable descriptors for these CMS capabilities. Rule 2 is the benefit first mandate. If a feature cannot be explained in terms of how it improves the customer's visit, the feature should remain invisible. Rule 3 is proactive transparency. Operators must explicitly publish clear pricing policies before public speculation fills the void. Strict language discipline ensures that the operational benefits of digital signage do not come at the cost of brand reputation. The final vulnerability point in the communication system is the frontline staff. When a customer notices a digital screen and asks if prices change, the frontline worker is the immediate arbiter of brand trust. This requires crisis preparedness training, ensuring every employee has a clear, honest script stating the brand does not use demand-based surge pricing. Digital menu flexibility and promotional scheduling are legitimate advantages for any operator. The Wendy's crisis proves the technology capability is never the problem. Maintaining trust relies on framing the upgrade as a customer benefit rather than a corporate advantage.